This video is about the scratch addition algorithm. And the idea here, and the reason we call it scratch, is because we'll actually scratch out one of the numbers when we reach a quantity of 10, when we would normally make the exchange. So let me show you here. So for example, if I add 7 and 8, I get 15. So that's one group of 10 and an additional 5. So I'm going to make one scratch through the 8 because I've reached 10 and put the additional ones that I've got there. Now 5 plus 5 is a 10, so I'm going to put a scratch through the 5, and I've got 0 in the ones. So what I'm going to do is always use this last number that I write down as my result in that column. Then I'm going to count the number of scratches I made, 1, 2, and that's going to be the number that I write in the next column. Those are the number of exchanges I made. So I do the process over again. 2 plus 3 is 5. Plus 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. So I scratch and write the number in the ones place. And again, I use that number that I write as my result, and I count the number of scratches. I made one scratch, one exchange, so I write that in the next column. 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 more is 12, so I make a scratch for the exchange that I'm going to make and write down the 2 for the ones place. So I write down the 2 and I count the number of scratches. I made one scratch, so that goes in the next column. 1 plus 2 is 3. And I can verify this with the standard algorithm. So 7 plus 8 is 15, plus 5 is 20. Put down the 0. Write the exchange for the 2 there. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 more is 6, plus 4 is 10. Make the exchange. 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 3 more is 9, plus 3 more is 12. Write down the 2, make the exchange, and 3,200. So notice when the nice thing about the scratch is I don't have to keep track of, am I still in 10s or 20s? Like in the 7 plus 8 is 15, plus 5 more is 20. The scratches help me keep track of how many exchanges I needed to make. So that I really only have to count up to 10 at a time and not past 10. So let's see another example. So 432 plus 976 plus 1,418. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and add. 6 plus 2 is 8, and 8 plus 8 is 16, which is one group of 10 plus 6 more. So I write down the 6, and right above the next column, the number of scratches I made. So 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 7 is 11, so I'm going to make a scratch and write down the 1, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. One scratch, so that goes in the next column. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 9 is 14, so I'm going to write down the 4 in my scratch for my one group of 10. And 4 plus 4 is 8. And how many scratches? I had one scratch, so 1 plus 1 is 2, 2,826. And again, we can verify that doing our standard algorithm. 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 8 is 16. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 2 more is 12. 9 plus 4 is 13, plus 1 more is 14, plus 4 is 18, plus carry the 1 is 2,826. So you might say, well, really that's not really any easier, but like I said, you can keep track of the scratches are however many exchanges you need to make. And maybe with 3 numbers, it's not that big of a deal, but if you have a long list of numbers, this becomes very handy in that you don't have to keep track of, was I at 26, was I at 36? I can just count up the number of scratches and then just essentially count up to 10.